I thought I'd talk to you for a bit about the stylus I was using in this video, because I really like it. Now, I did get this quite recently. I've been using it for the past few weeks to give it a good test. But the reason I got this one was because my favourite ones that I always used to use, which is this Dagi AccuPen one. And as you can see here, that one is a sort of like an accurate, it's got like a disc, a precision disc is what they call it. I don't know if you can see there, but the springs have kind of bent out of shape a bit, and it also falls out sometimes, so I was having a bit of trouble with it. But that aside, the actual design of it works really well, and the stylus itself, it's fantastic for doing detailed drawings because you can see through the disc exactly what you're doing on the screen. So I really like this one, but I did get it quite a few years ago and you can't actually find it now. So this is one of my favourites from the past. Another one of my favourites is this one here, which is like a mesh tip. Rather than a rubber tip, it's a mesh tip there. And the cool thing about this one is you can turn it around like this and you have a paintbrush version of the stylus. I absolutely love this, but again I couldn't find this particular one. I'm sure that I got it quite a few years ago now, probably about 4 years ago, and I got it online, possibly Amazon, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it was about £10 or £11. But I can't find this anywhere now. Other favourite stylus is actually one from the pound shop. It's just a really simple plastic thin one with a little rubber tip. Nothing special, but sometimes I like using the rubber tip more than I do the other types of tips. It just depends on the device really. You've got to find, you know, what works well for your particular device, because they don't work brilliantly on every single one. So I really wanted one, but I didn't want to buy like 2 or 3 different styluses, so I wanted to try and find one that kind of did it all. And I did quite a bit of research online and I found this one, which is, I don't know if you can see on the pen tip there, the company is called the Friendly Swede. Now this looked like the ideal stylus for me, because it's actually a 3-in-1 stylus. You've got the mesh tip here, then if you twist it, you've got the disc precision one in there, and then it's really going to fall off there. Then if you twist the other side, oh, there it goes. Let's put it like that. If you twist the other side, you've got a pen. So I thought, well, that's good. We're artists, we want to be able to draw, we want to be able to draw on paper as well as on our devices. So using this, you can choose what configuration you want. You know, you can have the pen and the mesh tip, or you can put it on the other side. Ooh, I'm looking through the camera viewfinder and I can't see what I'm doing. Or you can have the mesh tip and the precision tip there. So you can kind of choose how you want it basically. Now I did get this sent to me to review, so I didn't pay for the item, but this video isn't sponsored or anything like that. I just wanted to show you it and tell you my what I think of it basically. But I just couldn't believe, like literally, this company is called the Friendly Swede. When I contacted them, because this stylus set, here's the box, 3-in-1 stylus set. It's about $18.99. At the time when I was researching, I couldn't really afford this particular one, but I really wanted it because I thought it would be ideal for artists. So I wrote to them and told them that I wanted to use a stylus for my digital art, and that I was planning on sharing what I use with my YouTube viewers, and I said how I wanted to use, you know, current items, so that if you guys like it, you then know where you can go and buy it, rather than my other ones here, which are fantastic, but they don't sell them anymore, so you wouldn't be able to buy them. But anyway, so I told them about it and they were really, really nice and offered to send me one so that I can play around with it and see what I think. So I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much, the Friendly Swede. And I do really enjoy the product. Now there are a couple of downsides that I'll talk about in a minute, but first of all, let's have a look at the box and what you get in it. So the box is a nice white box here. You pull out the side there, and there we have it. Now, you'll notice straight away, there are two. So you don't only get one, you get two. And I was just blown away by that because, you know, when you grow attached to a stylus and something happens to it, for example, this one with the bendy wire there, I couldn't find out how to buy the replacements and so forth. You know, it's disappointing because you're like, oh, I really like this stylus, but I can't get a replacement. So, I can't believe you get two in here. So, you know, this one that I've been using is still absolutely perfect. I have had no problems with it so far. So, you know, I'm going to keep using this and keep using this, and only when I have a problem will I need to move on to this one. But it's so nice knowing that you've got like a backup. So, and also another thing I was really impressed with is the fact that it comes with all these spares, because again, like I say with my other one, as soon as the nib spiral thing bent out of shape, that was it. You know, I'd have to buy a replacement. So the fact that it comes with a few that you can use straight away and have as backup is just brilliant, because, you know, the mesh side does get dusty and dirty because obviously we use our fingers on our devices and it collects dust as well, and then we use these on the device and it does get really dusty. Likewise with this disc end, it does get sort of a bit dirty, so I sometimes clean it. But yeah, you will want to replace them eventually, so the fact that it comes with it is great. For cleaning, I haven't opened this one yet, but they do send you a cleaning cloth as well, which is really nice. I had a couple out already in use, so I haven't opened it yet, but that's really handy because, like I say, you do want to clean the disc end and the other end every now and again, because it does collect all the dirt and dust from your devices. Now, what are the negatives? There aren't many, because I do really like this stylus, but one of the things that I had a bit of trouble with is the threads. What I mean by that is this bit here that when you twist the lid to get it on. Now sometimes it can be difficult to engage it, you know, so you're sort of twiddling for quite a while to sort of get it to close up. But you know, that's kind of like a little minor thing. You've just got to be patient and you've got to make sure you put it in nice and straight like that, and gently. Another thing that you could consider a downside is the fact that there's this nice rubber grip here, but not on this side. So, you know, when you're writing with the pen, it's sometimes a little bit slippery. No, maybe it would be nice to have a little bit of a rubber grip on both sides, like rather than having this really big bit here. Maybe if that was half the size and you had half of it there and half of it there, you'd at least get a bit of grip no matter what end you're using. My third negative would be the fact that, let me just do this up here. If you've got it configured this way, and you want to put the lid, like you want to change, say you want to use the mesh side, but you want to keep this side handy as well. It's actually a bit difficult to put the lid on this side. It doesn't really fit very well when you're using like the single lid on this disc side. It's a bit small for it. It does fit, and you can put it on there, but I found on a few occasions I've gone to take it out and I couldn't pull it out. It was kind of stuck a bit, and then when you're pulling at it you risk damaging this rubber bit, because unlike the Daji that I showed you earlier, it's not a like a spring-loaded thing. It's actually got this sort of flexible rubber part there, and if you're pulling to get it out of the lid. You've got to be careful because you could easily break that. So that's my third downside, is the fact that you can't use the single lid on this side. You kind of have to, if you want to protect it, you have to put it into the mesh side, because this barrel here is big enough to fit it in without damaging it. That said though, it's not a huge problem. You know, you just got to tweak it around when you want to change. You just got to make sure you unscrew and change around the right bits. The last thing that I kind of wished was that there was a single lid to cover both sides, because I take this everywhere with me wherever I go now, because it's ideal for using with my phone when I'm out and about. But in my bag I didn't want to damage this end, but of course there's only one lid, so I was a bit worried about damaging it, and I did wish that we could have a lid on this side as well. Now of course you could take the lid from this one and use that, but I guess I can kind of understand why they've designed it like that, because there's always that risk that you might lose the lid. With one lid you've always got it attached on the other end, so you're not going to lose it. The pen writes in black and it writes really smoothly. It's really nice actually. Let's do another little tester. So you will have seen me draw earlier these paw prints. So let's grab our pen. See, I'm in the habit of, as soon as I open up the lid, I switch over to the other side and I'm ready to go. So yeah, just, it's pretty smooth. The ink is nice and, you know, it's not blotchy or weak. It's nice, it's a pleasure to draw with. So I would say, all in all, it's a great stylus. I probably wouldn't have paid $18.99 for just the one, but the fact that you get two and all of these spares, plus they're a really nice company, really prompt customer service. I looked at some reviews on Amazon and people were saying how nice and friendly and helpful they were, how they'd, you know, gone out of their way to help them when they had if they had a problem. All in all, it's an excellent price for this whole kit. Multi-use, all-in-one stylus. I really enjoy this.